Hello and welcome my friend, and next I am planning to show you that how to replace engine oil in this Toyota Camry car. Okay, and now hello my friend first, and first when we are planning to replace this Toyota Camry's engine oil, first step is that we need to purchase high quality engine oil. Remember that this is my only and first advice. And best oil is of course when you visit in Toyota dealership center, they have this Toyota's best oils. But then if we try to replace these engine oils by self, we need to purchase new oil. And my recommendation is always that choose this Mobile One. I have used that Mobile One oil now about 30 years, 30 years, and it is best oil in my experience. And there is two quality level of mobile oil. This is standard quality, what is good, and I recommend. And there is then this super high quality mobile oil, where is this new formula what lowers our car's smoke test results. And this is also better for catalytic converters too. And now I use this better one, Mobile One, and there is also this APE quality level is SN, and you will get this symbol in here down area, back area. Here is text and SN, and this is very high quality oil. And then this is my standard mobile oil, and there is quality level. When I look in here down, it is SM, M, little bit lower, almost same like in that one, but this is one level better. Okay, and that's I use now this oil, and first step is to look this car's engine next, and we look that next, this car engine. Okay, and first I open this car's bonnet, and inside very rare of this car's this steering wheel. There is here is steering wheel, and there is knob where I open this bonnet. And then next part is that I need to insert my fingers in here, in that position, in here, and then little bit move that hand in that way. And there is that kind of switch. And then this engine opens, and then we can look in here inside. And our target is to replace this engine oil, and there is this engine oil cap head, and normally we can open that in by hands, but then when we become old and weak, or we have already weak, that we can't open that cover like I do now, we need bigger tongs that we open that. And next I take my tongs. Okay, and then I have in here my tongs. They look like that one. And when I insert these tongs in here in that way, and then I little bit open, this cap opens easily. Okay, and this is first step, that we notice that we have this cap, and then this is idea only that in that hole we will soon add this engine oil. And now when this is now free, I can next do thing that we need to go in somehow in below of this engine, because there is inside in that area there is this oil drying bolt, and I need to now little bit lift this car body up that I can look that oil bolt. Okay, and then we continue. Okay, and then when we are lifting up this our car, we can use that kind of floor jack that we lift up this car body little bit up, and then remember to be very carefully, because when we lift up our car body, it sometimes this our car body collapse down, and that's we need support jack. And I saw that what are those stuff, those jack next. Okay, and then when we are lifting this our car body up, please insert always that metallic support things in that area in here, that they support this car body. This is very important that we insert those support things in there, because sometimes this car body collapse, and if when we are in below of this car body, this collapsing kills us, and this is very dangerous job. And that's insert in there some this jack or then some feels in here when we lift up this car body. Okay, and next I lift up this car body up. Okay, and here we have then this oil drain bolt. It is this bolt in here what we are next planning to open. And there is this bolt, and we need to open that next. And next I take also tool what we can use. But before of that we need also this oil waste canister. And let's go to look at what it looks like. We need that kind of waste canister because there is oil in this car engine, and we need to drain all of our oils in here. And then we insert this canister just in front of this oil drain bolt in that way. And then I take this my tool that we can open this bolt. Okay, and there is this my tool already, and this tool size is 14mm tool, like in 1/4. 1/4 is this size, and now I have a quite short tool, and it fits in here. And then when we are using so small tool, this bolt is often tight, and we need to hit that little bit, like in that way, or then we need to use longer tool, and in that way I insert that in here, and then I hit that in that way, and then this bolt opens. And then I recommend to use gloves, because this oil is harmful liquid, and it generates cancer and many diseases to our body. That do not ever touch oil or any car liquids. All of those are harmful. That's use gloves, but are like plastic. And there is then this my tool, and I insert the tool in ground. And next, when I start to rotate that my bolt, there is trick that quite soon this oil start to come out in here. And be carefully, it is like sour, oil sour, and that's when we rotate that we need to all time a little bit move that bolt, that then it opens. And let's look, because then oil start to comes, and this is like experience, and keep all time very hard, this very good grip in this bolt, that you can rotate that back, because this I need to check that when this oil is coming. And now there is something oil. Okay, now something drops, and that means that quite soon oil is dropping. Okay, good. And now I need this my oil waste canister, and I go a little bit more away, that I can insert my canister in here. Okay, then I take my canister, and it is in here, this canister, and then I insert that canister in here, in that position, and then I open this my bolt totally. And then when this bolt is open, keep all time in your hands in this bolt, and then suddenly now it's free, and then only take so that fast away, and then oil goes to this my canister. Look, this is experience, and that way, and now it's open, and then I pull out that like trigger. And now oil is coming down, and then I insert in ground with my box. And there is this my oil drying bolt. And then we need to do next check that is there any bad materials in this bolt. But before of that, we can look that where is this oil going, what is this position, and let's look in down. There is oil is going down, and there is oil going in this my canister. And then only a little bit movement that this oil line goes directly in here, because when oil amount changes, then this oil flow is in different position in this canister. Okay, cool. Okay, now again move a little bit. Okay, and then we need to wait a couple of minutes that this all oils dries away, and then we continue. Okay, and next step is to inspect our oil drying bolt status, and this was this bolt. And first we look that is there any metallic particles in this head area. In here carefully I have clean cotton cloth, and no, there is no any particles, and that means that now our engine is in excellent condition. And then I have cotton cloth, remember, cotton, no any paper, because paper particles can go in here, stack, and they are harmful. And then we need to clean that bolt very carefully, all areas in that way. And then I recommend that there is this oil drying bolt gasket, that please replace this gasket to new one, because it is compressed. You can see there is movement and plastic changes, and we can find this new gasket in this Toyota dealership center, and this costs about $1 or $2. And please visit the store what sells new Toyota cars. They have also excellent quality of these parts like this gasket, and also if this bolt goes bad, that area, you can go to visit in Toyota dealership center, and this is specific magnetic oil bolt, and they will sell new bolt, and prices I estimate something like $5 to $10 per bolt, and in same amount in euros. And in Japan it is 100 times bigger, and it means that 100 Japanese yen. And please correct my Japanese friend if you are looking that video. Okay, and then we install these parts back and clean also that area. And remember that if we reuse this old gasket, there is risk of oil leak in here, and that's I recommend that we purchase new gasket, and then we install that every time in here. And now I need to go to purchase new gasket, and then we continue, and I install this bolt and new gasket back. Okay, and now this oil dropping is almost finished, and then I need to take again clean cotton cloth, and I need to clean this oil drying bolt hole, this black hole in here, and clean cotton cloth, and especially we always movement out of this hole, no ever inside, because if we insert that clean in inside, we can insert some dust and sand things in here, and that's always away in that way. And then we clean that area, and there is still dropping some oil drops in that area, but it is not bad. And then I clean that, and then I take this my oil drying bolt, and I insert that in here, and using my fingers I rotate that totally in here, and now it's in place, and then I need to fasten that this bolt, and I take my tool next and I clean that a little bit. Okay, and then I have the same 14mm tool, and then I fasten that in that way. I insert my hand in there, and then remember to fasten this bolt well, and remember that what sides of this French you have is the important. That I have now something like this, quite small. I think that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches, something like a 15 centimeter long socket, and this French, and this is quite short, and that's I can use a lot of force that this is tight. And then remember that if you have really long tool, like 2 times longer, then we have to be carefully, because we can damage this bolt threads. And the best way is that if you have this longer that size, you use so much force than you have. But remember that do not damage this bolt. And best way is that if you have this Toyota French tool, and with that we can just insert the right amount, and it is something like 60 Newton meters. And next I like to test that also. Okay, and then I have in here this my Toyota French tool. It looks like that, and there is then this scale in here, this amount, and I need to rotate in that scale now amount what is 60. I rotate that little bit, and now there is 60 Newton meters in this scale in here. Maybe we can see these amounts in here. And then when I insert that my tool in this position in that way, and then when this says click, this force, the force is okay. Okay, and that means that when now I have this very long tool, this my bolt even becomes more tighter. And this click means that now everything is okay. And there is, by the way, this is my hand. And when I a little bit move up, it says that click. Okay, now I am 99.9% guarantee that this bolt is well fastened and tightened. And next step is that I need to add more oil. Remember, we need new oil, and let's go to do that next. Okay, and then we need this new oil. And how much we need then this oil? The right amount is that we need, it is something like 4.5 quarters. 4.5 quarters new oil, and in liters it is something like 4.2 liter new engine oil. What is this mobile one? And check also that you have this quality level is SN, and then you have very high quality oil. And remember, now I only replace engine oil, and then if we replace this oil filter, what is also, it makes this oil replace even better. It is something like, I estimate that 0.4 liters more, because oil filter amount is that, and same in here, 0.4. or it may be a little bit less. But when we replace oil filter, we need to add also more this engine oil. Okay, and next I start to grind out this my oil, and first step is that I need to open this my cap, And this cap open happens so that I lift up this security thing in that way, and there is actually instructions, and then I need to pull out this my thing and then rotate this cap, and then there is second grip, and this is only that we need hard fingers and we pull out. And then if you are weak and you don't have so much force, we can use again these tongs. And these tongs openings means that I insert my tongs in here, and then I only a little bit bend in that way. And yes, mobile, this part opens. Okay, in that way. And then remember that do not drop any stuff inside in here, because this engine oil is very sensitive part. And then I need to go to drying those my oils in this engine next. Okay, and then when we are planning to add in the new oil, first we need to open this oil cap hat in that way, and be carefully that you don't drop this oil cap, and then we can add indirectly in here this oil. But if you have some funnel, it is better, because it is good to use this plastic funnel, because then oil don't go in here. Let's go to look at what I mean. My previous servicemen, they have insert in here oil, and it is harmful because it runs in here, and then it runs in this our exhaust manifold, and then there's risk of car fire. Look, there is oil leaks, and because of that, and that's I recommend that you use funnel like in that one, and we insert that in here in this one position in that way. Good. And then I take my engine oil. Next I take my engine oil, and it was here. This was my oil in here, and then I keep one hand in here and second in here, and then I dry this. I almost made mistake. I was lucky, because now I take a little bit better view, and then I like to show also that how we can clean if there is any oils. Now this part is in here, and then I start to add this my oil in here. Look, oil is going, and it goes nicely. And then I insert all of my oils in there inside, and I think that we can wait that, and then I think that how we can also add this oil in here if we don't have this funnel, and that way that we only do in that way. This is also possible, but then we need to clean those all dirties away. Look, if oil goes in wrong position. Okay, and then we wait a couple of minutes that I dry all of those oils in there, and then we continue. Okay, and now I have insert all oils in there, and then we take again cotton cloth. It is my recommendation. Some our old t-shirt or something old what is clean, and then we need to clean these oils in this outer area, and be carefully that you don't drop in this hole any particles. Very carefully take in that way, and then look that hey, there is dirties, and take new place in here where is no any dirties, and clean that area also, and no any drops in there. There is black, and then I change again. This is clean area, and I clean these areas here, and again look black dirties. And now I think that this is, I check that is there clean, and I only clean this. And why we can't drop anything in here? Because if we drop any rocks or sand particles or dusties in here, they go to inside in this our engine, and this engine becomes bad, and then we need to maybe purchase new engine, and like that engine it costs 5,000 euros. And that's, be very carefully that you don't drop in here anything. And take in here a little bit, and now it is very nice. And then final step is to clean also this oil cap hat, and I will do that next. That I take in this I test that where is this new clean areas. Here is clean area. Then I open this clean area, and then I clean also this my oil caps, this outer areas. We are like clinic, we are like cleaners, and all dirties away, look. And then I can install this my oil cap hat, and this oil cap hat fastening is so that now we use only our fingers, no any tongs, and so long that we can insert that in our hands. We know that now it's enough tight, and this is normally enough good fastening. Okay, and then I take new cotton cloth, because this is a little bit dirty. And here I have new cotton cloth, clean. And then we need to inspect our oil level. And this is the final and most important thing, that we check that how much we have oil. And then I pull out that, and there is this my oil stick. And then I take this cleaning part in that way, and I remove all oils away, look, in that way. And then I change a little bit this my clean part. Now it's clean. And then there is idea that when we look this Camry's oil stick, there is two amount. L like low, this is this drop point, this is this where I keep. And that means that our oil level must be always in this F like full line, what is in here, this area. And then always in that area, no ever in here. Because if we keep our oil level in here, this our engine can damage also. And that's I insert now this my stick in this hole, look, in that way. And then I carefully press it down, and then I need to press that totally down in that way. Look this click. And we can also go to look that, hey, what is this amount? It must be in same line than in that one. This one is same and that. Look. Now it's fine. Look. And now we can measure that how much we have now oil. And I pull out that in here carefully. No any hurry. And then we look that, okay, where's my oil level? And we can see that it is just in here. Just a couple of millimeters up this F, and it means that excellent work. And if this level is in that high, like in 1 inches away, then it is too high. Because if we overfill our engine, then it is also a little bit bad to our engine, because engine then try to pull out extra oil, and it can damage our engine's sealant and gasket. Now I believe that engine is fine, good. And then our final check is that I need to start this car engine and then check that there is no any oil leaks, especially in here down. And next I start this my engine, and we can then look that is there any leaks. Okay, and normally in here there is no leak, but then we need to go here down. Is here any leak? And here is no leak, and that means that now I will replace this well and no leaks. And there are those old oils that I need to move and transport to recycle center. Do not insert your oils in ground. Okay, hello and welcome, and next I am planning to show you that how to replace this oil filter to this Toyota Camry 2.4 liter engine. And first we need high quality filter, and I recommend that we try to use Toyota's original filters because they are best. But now I have this aftermarket filter what should be okay. And then we need also the specific oil filter change tool. And I have this part what is forte part and accessories, and this oil filter replace tool cost about $5, and the size is 65 millimeter. There is small stamp in their end, and 65 is this diameter in here, from here to here, and that part fits in here. And then when I am planning to take that old filter out, I need to hammer that little bit in that way in here, that I hammer that in down so deep that it takes contact in here, and then this system should work. And in that slot I need to insert this socket part, and there is a little bit smaller this area in here, and this part is a little bit too big, and that's I need this specific tool what makes this my bigger friend's head suitable in here in that way. Now it's in position, and then I need of course this longer bar what fits in here. And now this my system is almost ready, and then we can go to take that old filter away, and next we continue. Okay, and now we are in this engine area, and there is oil sump, and here is oil drain bolt, and when we look in that area in here, there is oil filter in this position. And let's go to look closer. There is oil filter in here, and its position is a little bit in hidden, but I take my light that we can see better, and there is this oil filter, and in that position next I need to insert this oil filter opening tool, and it happens so that I take my tool. Before of that, little bit light, we can see that there is this tool place, there is filter, and here is then this my tool, and it looks like that. And then I insert this my tool in this my socket, and this my place, and I think that when I have that place, I insert my tool in this position. Now it's in there, and then I think that I little bit hammer that my tool, and I take a little bit better view. There is this my, and then I check that tool is okay, and then I hammer that little bit. Notice my tool went went deeper in there. We look. Now it looks good, and then I hope that when I take my friends, what is in here, that now when I rotate that in this direction, in that way, that this filter opens. Okay, and good. Look, filter is really moving. Excellent. Now I was lucky. And now there is soon coming some oil, and that's we need to be carefully, because and now I take this my friends away, and also now it's oil is dropping. Okay. And that's I need waste oil canister, and there is this my canister. And look, there's this my canister is in the ground. It is waiting this oil, and oil is dropping in there. It's dropping there, and then I take this my little bit my tools away, and I rotate a little bit, or actually it's my tool, this was useful here, and it helps. Then when I rotate, okay, this is dirty job, remember. Now I rotate that and use gloves, because my hands are full of oil, and this oil is harmful. Okay, and now filter is away. Look, it is dirty, and then because this is full of oil, I drain all of these oils in this my oil canister. Okay, and here is this my old oil filter, and look, it is full of old oils. And now I drop that in there, and then I need to insert new filter, and let's go to look that. Okay, and then I insert that new filter, and there is good instructions what I need to do. First one is that I need to oil. There is this gasket in here, and I have in here oil, I have mobile oil, and I insert this mobile one oil a little bit in here, that way, and then I take my clean finger, and this is purpose to make these filters, this part lubricant. This is very important, that we can fasten and tighten this well. Good, and then next part is that it says that I need to add in here also in here inside, this is my rule, this engine oil, because then this engine in that way I feel that almost full. Okay, now it's full. There's oil inside. I add a little bit more. Almost full. Okay, now it's full, good. And then, okay, it goes also in there. A little bit more. Okay, now it's quite nice. And this oil goes to this oil filter elements paper areas, and that it goes deeper, and I add more. Okay, now it's there, good. Okay, and then we look those instructions, and then I need to go to fasten that, and then when this filter takes contact, that it don't rotate, I need to turn that 75% these turns. That means that when here is the starting point, that I rotate that almost one turn in here. This is the final part, and only using our hands. Remember, no any tool. Okay, and then I take this cotton cloth. This is really useful when I rotate. And let's go to look at what is situation in my engine. Okay, and here is then this engine area, and then I need again cotton cloth, and I need to clean this area, those all dirt is away in that way. Look carefully. I need to go through this filter elements, all those areas, that it is totally clean. Then I take my tool and clean those things so that all dirt goes in outside, and carefully clean that filter in that way, that move in here to out. Look, and here is some dirt in that side, and I take, and be carefully also, because some oil drops are dropping down, that those oil drops, that they don't drop to your eyes. It is very bad. And then I clean that little bit more, and soon we continue. Okay, and now when everything looks good, final check is to do after that engine running, that we again check that how much we have oil. Because sometimes this oil level can change. And there's my stick, everything is look good, and then I insert my stick back in there, and let's look what is my oil amount. An excellent oil amount is great. Okay, thank you. And this was this oil replace, and remember to do this oil replace in this Toyota's engine within every 7,000 miles or 10,000 kilometers. It's good estimation. Okay, and thank you for watching, and have a nice day to you.